So this can be quite a mess. So I'm going to take it to a light box and just trace my main objects without all these vanishing point lines and all the division lines. But I do want to point out there's lots of little rules and tricks that you could Google or YouTube for finding like a circle within an area or, you know, adding details to these. Because next, once we have this laid out and on our drawing paper, we really want to start adding details. So something like this, sometimes things are foreshortened and, you know, the words on the top of this box also have to be in perspective. So I just want to point out when you have words or something going in perspective, so this is like a strange angle to add a word to. If you just do it straight, it's going to not look correct. So what you do to find the middle of this box is you go from corner, and I'll do it with my ruler actually, corner to corner on the top of this box, and it will give you the middle of the box. So if you wanted to, so now I know like, okay, this is the actual center. It's not actually in the center, but that is where the center would be. So if you had like a design in the center, you could put it there. And sometimes I divide it even further. So if you have like a circle or something, like, you know, you could start to lay it out using this method and make sure it's going to look like an ellipse then. But mine has like it says Jared, the Galleria of. So if I were adding that in, you have to make sure that your words are parallel. So that the line of your lettering has to also, everything has to go, I'm sorry, so they wouldn't be parallel. It's going to go to that vanishing point. So I'm going to go in and see my line of letters. I might want to first draw the box that the letters go in and then try to get my letters to fit in there. So for mine, there's actually quite a bit of space here. It's very distorted, but it would be, I'd have to follow and make things go to that vanishing point. These would actually kind of stay pretty parallel looking to the lines that are there. So I need to make sure that these kind of follow and go to the vanishing point as well. So like my lettering, just kind of going back, it's going to be very skewed. But it's got to be within this area. So my lettering would have to kind of fit in here. It would be much bigger. And then I could even like add a line in the middle to make my lowercase go there, but everything goes to that vanishing point. So, and it gets smaller as it goes that way. So this is a little tricky. If you have like, some of you have blocks, like say toy blocks, and you have like a letter or something in the middle, I just try to keep these sidelines are going to be parallel, straight up and down. And then the top lines are going to go to the vanishing point. Anything that can go to the vanishing point will. Okay, so these are going to look a little bit funny and distorted. And when you draw your letter, you know, you might want to lay it out like that. And then if you had like say an A or something, you know, might be a little bit fatter on this side, little narrower on that side. So everything's going to be a little shifted and distorted, and always just compare the positive and negative space that's there. If you had windows, like if this were a building and you had like windows or something on it, your windows would have to be going to this vanishing point as well. But the sides would be parallel with this. So anything up and down is basically parallel, and anything side to side or like corners is going to be parallel. Anything horizontal is going to go to those vanishing points. And also there's different ways to calculate things. Like these windows would get closer together as they go in the distance, and I forget how to do that, but there's ways you can look up on how to do that. So the spacing would change as it gets narrower as well. So if you had any details or lines, they're all going to go to that vanishing point, all these vertical lines stay straight up and down. All the horizontal lines go to those vanishing points.